Hello and welcome to the Knit Girls. This is episode 473. I'm Laura, also known as Lala.
I am Leslie, also known as You Don't Call Me Les. Today is Friday, Valentine's Day,
February 14th.
2020. Feels weird to be recording in the middle of the day. My boss let me off early today, so...
I think it's cute that you think that this is the middle of the day.
Well, it is for me.
For me, it's like after school, so it's around 4 o'clock.
Well, you get up 3 hours before I do.
That's true, too.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got no banter today. Sorry.
Banter free since 93.
So knitting. Works in progress. What do you have on the needles?
I have the Lillet Sweater. So this is my Tale of Lillet Woe. So this is the back side.
And it's the neck down.
Yep, and it's a neck down sweater, and it's by Thea Coleman, and it's got two different sets of short rows. There's a set of short rows built into the ribbing, and then a set of short rows that's supposed to occur after the ribbing. And I did that, and I got almost the armholes, so like 9 inches past. And then I looked back, and my short rows looked terrible. So I ripped all the way back to this cable and lace collar and re-knit down. So that is, I'm still not back to where I was before. So I'm slowly but surely re-knitting down. The yarn did do well with the ripping out. This is Barocco Vintage in a red color. And it is being knit on size 6 needles. And it is living in my Fat Squirrel unicorn bag. I have another skein, but yeah. So that is the first thing on my needles. And I'm using the Addy Squared needles for that. And then the second thing on my needles, I cast on yesterday maybe the day before. And there are some socks from Knit Spin Farm and the Cherry Blossom colorway, which was last February.
I was going to say, I don't remember that one, so it must have been before I joined the club.
Yeah, so it's last February. I don't know when you joined the club.
Last year sometime.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it is her Targi Sport Base, which is my favorite. And I'm knitting this on Addy 1 squared.
Addy Rocket Square.
Yes, thank you.
On size 1, 2.25 millimeters.
Yep. And I'm just going around and around and around. I put a link to the Wendy Johnson's numbers that I use for my toe-up socks with gussets when I knit them. That's in the show notes, which you can find at TheKnitGirlls with 3Ls.com. And that is it. That's living in my super cute Hikari handmade llama bag. So yeah, that is all I'm working on, those two things. I'm pretty much monogamous.
Those
the socks are living
pretty wide.
There's 60 stitches around.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay.
I just counted. I'll recount though, because I might need to rip back. I was doing something at work at the same time I was knitting them, so I might need to recount. But they were 30 on each side, but I will recount just to be on the safe side, because I'm just a little bit past the toe increases.
I'm also knitting with Knit Spin Farm's Targi Sport Base. Same exact base, different colorway. This is like Collecting Rocks.
Oh yeah.
Day. Apple cider. Collect Rocks Day.
That's a pretty one.
So I just started this one earlier today. I'm knitting mine on size 3s, which is either a 3 millimeter or 2.75 millimeter. I can't remember which one. And I knit a 56 stitch sport weight sock.
Yeah, that's what I usually do. But I had gotten up to 60 and I was like, by the time I counted, so I was like, I think this will be good.
And I think it's preference too. Like, I prefer my socks to be a little snug.
Oh, I do not. I like to wiggle my toes.
Oh, I like negative ease in mine, so I tend to go a little smaller in circumference if I can. So I'm just doing them on DPNs. If I happened to have had a Magic Loop 32-inch size 3 needle, I would have used that if I just happen to have it handy. but I didn't. So DPNs, I don't mind DPNs for socks.
I do when I travel though, like if I'm on an airplane.
Yeah, for sure, because I've lost a DPN, especially if you're at an ascent or a descent part, it'll just roll right away from you. That has happened to me. So, what else am I knitting on?
Do you have any sweaters that you're working on?
I do, although it's not going to look a whole lot different. I'm working on the rainbow cardigan by Karen Lauger. This is what it looks like from the pattern photo. Obviously it's called rainbow because she did it in rainbow colors. I'm not. I'm just doing a colored hand spun for the back, and then I say colored, a multicolored hand spun for the back, and then a solid colored hand spun for the rest of the body. I had actually
you and I and our tales of woe with sweaters this week.
For real. So I had actually, the way that this, so far, I never read the full pattern before I start it. Never. So, whatever. So the way that this particular pattern works is you knit up X amount, and then you put the live stitches on like waste yarn, and then you pick up along the side and knit some short rows, and you add some stitches up here because this becomes the back, up across the shoulder. Well, I had gotten almost done with the side part before it was going to flip over, and then I was like, this looks a little weird, so I was going to recount it, and I recounted it at Laura's house, and you're supposed to have, I think it was 156 rows, and so it was 76 or 78 ridges, because it's garter stitch, so every 2 rows makes a ridge. So that 78 ridges, and for some reason in my head I divided that again, so I was only supposed to have 76 rows, and whatever half of that was for ridges,
like 30 something.
So so it was much smaller than it is now.
It would have been a very short, so it would have been like a crop top.
Yeah. But it would have been like
be fun.
Low high, so it would have been low in the front and high in the back. Oh. So I kept on knitting, and at that point I realized that I was going to run out of yarn. And I came home and looked, and I didn't have anything similar enough that I thought it would blend with this, anywhere near the weight. So I went to Laura's and got, Laura very quickly found something that had enough of the colors from mine in hers. It's actually some old Creatively Dyed, who I'm pretty sure is no longer in business. I could be wrong though. So I'm going to start blending them in. So I stopped at the 2/3 point, and then I'll start blending them in pretty quickly. But I haven't touched this in a couple of days. But it's just garter, and it's relatively relaxing as long as you actually count
How
things.
are you enjoying knitting with your hand spun?
It's nice. I don't knit with it nearly enough. If I knit one project I hand spun a year, it's a boon year. I should do it more. But
you don't spin a ton, though.
I don't spin a ton, but it's very joyful to remember when I was spinning this as I'm knitting it, and the weights of this change drastically from yard to yard sometimes, but it's nice, and I want to wear more hand spun things as well. So there's that, and then the other, it's sort of an FO but not exactly yet, so it's cat couch time.
Yay, cat couch time!
So I was seaming this at knit night on Wednesday.
Look at that!
This is my cat couch.
It kind of reminds me of Pee-wee's Playhouse couch.
What
was its name? Couchy?
I don't remember, but now that I'm looking at it, it looks like the back is slightly uneven. I'm not going to fix that.
Your cat won't care.
No, and actually Fred is too big for this.
Aww.
So the one that I thought would probably use it,
He might still get on it.
he's too fat. I put him on it last night.
No.
And if he just sits and doesn't like curl up, then he can fit on it. But that's it. So
Did he like it when he was on it?
no.
Oh.
So I didn't really think this through as far as how much effort I was going to put into it versus the reward.
Victoria might like it, or Sammy. Sammy might like it.
Sammy might, yeah. So this is the cat couch. The pattern is linked in the show notes. It has little cushions.
You could always donate it to a shelter,
I could,
too.
or to my vet.
Yeah.
So it's got little separate cushions that come off that were a royal pain to seam. But it is super cute. If you have a small cat, like Fred, my big cat, he weighs like 13 pounds. So if you have a small cat, like an under 10-pound cat, it probably will fit fine.
Or like with rescues, sometimes they need to photograph them, like the kittens on cute things. It could be a great photograph prop.
That's true. It could encourage adoptions.
Just to get them away from the couch.
No, I was thinking because it was cute.
It is super cute.
The only thing is, so now it's got a little Afghan that goes with it.
Yeah.
And the Afghan has 40 squares, and each of the squares has 3 colors. So each square, you get 6 ends.
Have you thought about doing like a ripple Afghan, crochet Afghan instead?
Yes. And then I thought, well, I could just take a fat quarter and quilt it, and there's the blanket. But yeah, so I've only done 2. But each little square is 3 different colors. There's a navy blue, a gray, and a yellow. This was just what I happen to have.
It's a good stash buster.
On hand. And to some degree, you can weave in the ends as you're crocheting on part of it, but not all of it. So I don't know if I'm going to do an Afghan.
You should do a ripple Afghan for it.
I mean, I wouldn't mind doing solid color granny squares.
Yeah, you could do that
because that
too.
I don't mind seaming, but weaving in 6 ends times 40, that's 240
You
ends.
could do 4 of those for the 4 corners and then do solid for the rest, or do those for the middle piece
or the
and do
border
solid
or something.
for the rest. Yeah.
I don't know, but I welcome ideas. I'm not gonna weave in 250 ends. It's just not gonna happen.
On a tiny Afghan for your
that no
couch.
one will ever use.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's it. I have nothing finished, and I have no spinning.
Ooh, but I have both those things.
So it's Laura's show.
I almost got a whole round knit while I've been here, which is super exciting. Alright, so I did finish the bide shawl, but I do need to weave in the ends and block it. Those 2 things have not happened. I got distracted by the sweater. So this is the bide shawl. I'm expecting it to grow a little bit. It is a triangle shape. An elongated triangle shape. And it is out of Barocco Alpaca Chunky 4 skeins. 3.5 really. And I knit it in like 4 days, I think. Completely. So, like 4 days worth of work. Yeah, so.
Is it for you?
It is for me, I think. I think it's for me. It's a nice, big, warm, cozy. Maybe it'll go to my grandmother.
That's what I was thinking.
Know.
It kind of looks like a Rita thing.
Yeah, I could definitely send it to her because I can always get more yarn. Yeah, so it might go to her.
It might get more use in Washington than it does in Mississippi.
It might. So yeah, maybe I'll send that to her. I think she'd like that. Good call, Leslie. So yeah, I just need to weave in the ends and block it, and then I can go someplace else. I need to clear off my blocking boards. I was hunting for yarn the other day, and I laid them all out on my blocking boards. So I was actually hunting for that sock yarn. That needs to get done, but all the knitting's done, and I'm super excited. It's a cute, fast project. And then, so that's my only finished objects, but I do have some spinning. And this is Squirrel's Pantry.
I really like that color.
Thank you. I'm going to knit a hat out of it, I think.
Yeah.
It is from Inglenook Fibers, and it is a braid that is 50% Shetland, like a gray Shetland, and then 25% Falkland Merino, and then 25% silk. So I think it's going to come out to a fingering weight, and I think I might do a sock head type hat out of it where I can use all the yardage up. I have, I'm spinning it on the Lendrum. This is the first bobbin. I'm just doing an end-to-end 2-ply. And so the second bobbin is almost done. I probably have, like, if I spin during the hockey game tonight, I should get it done. I love how you can see through on the Acreworks bobbins.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's really, really pretty. Love the colors. And I think this might be my travel knitting if I start a hat out of it for when we go to Scotland. I think that'll be a fun little thing. Thank you, everyone who sent suggestions of things to do in Scotland. That was super helpful and nice and kind. I did do more spinning at school. So this past Monday, we do a Fiber Arts February at my school. I co-teach it with my art teacher. And I was spinning some Hello yarn just as like when the kids came in, and then they spun a whole bunch of, I stole 2 guys out of the SSK stash. I stole 2 bumps, and they
can see what really nice fibers like.
Yeah, well, it's a Romney blend, so it's a nice longer,
it grabs a little bit,
longer wool where it wasn't just like, and it's like a pin drafted roving, so it was perfect for what I needed. And we have quite a bit of it, so that was pretty perfect. I read Tommy Needs a Cloak, or Someone Needs a Cloak.
Bojangles?
No. Where's my phone?
Pee-wee?
Let me see. It's by Tommy something, too. Charlie Needs a Cloak. That's what it is. Charlie Needs a Cloak, which takes you through, it's a picture book, and it takes you through, like, the shearing of the sheep, the washing of the wool, spinning, dyeing, weaving, sewing, and the creation of a cloak. And there's a little hidden mouse on every page. A little mouse thief. So the kids enjoy looking for him too, but it also takes us through the steps of what to do. And I stop on each page and I like demo. So I had hand cards with me. I had a tapestry loom. I had my wheel, the ladybug, and the blackbird, and the electric eel nano. They all like the blackbird best because they have nice taste.
Blackbird is by Daedalus.
Yep. And
it sounds like you do most of the teaching on this co-teaching day.
Yeah, and then she, so what she does for the rest of February is she's got 3 separate art classes. So one art class is learning how to weave on potholder looms. And then one class is learning how to sew like felt flowers. And then the other class is learning how to knit like headbands to put the felt flowers on. And then they switch, like, so they do each thing for like 2 weeks, basically.
That's cool.
Yeah, and then I do like different fiber, like we pass around all my different fiber samples, and silkworms are always a big discussion. And we cut open a silkworm cocoon, but we also stretch, we see how far we can stretch a silk hanky.
Yeah.
And they get to spin, and they get to touch raw fleece. I put out a raw fleece, because that's the first step, you have raw fleece. And then then I have washed fleece and carding, and I put out some pom-pom magazines and some other things like books for them to look at. And I had my Fleece and Fiber source book for them to look at, and a lot of finished stuff. So my car was quite full. I finally unpacked. It's been raining here for like a week, so I finally unpacked my car yesterday. I had brought the wheels in, but because I didn't want to leave them in the cold. But it's been like 35 and raining here for the past week. We did get snow. Those of you who are asking.
We did. It even stuck on the grass.
It did. And it gave us a 2-hour delay, so I got to sleep in last Friday, which was really, really nice. But then I didn't get any planning time at work. I got to sleep in, so it all worked out. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say about that. It was super fun. I love doing that with the kids. It's always a fun time. And now when they see me wearing something, they're like, "Did you make that?" So yesterday I wore a Vera Valimaki cardigan in red.
Oh, the ink something. Shadow something. The one Gwen just made.
Yeah, I don't remember its name though. I've worn it on the podcast, though, before. I think it should be linked in our show notes.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah. Anyway.
I keep wanting to say ink or shadow, but that's not right. Anyway.
Yep.
Okay, so you went over everything that you spun.
Yep.
As far as books, I'm still reading the same book I was reading last week. I just haven't made a ton of progress this week. And then I'm listening to Phoenix Unbound, which is the first in a series by Grace Draven.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot slower than a lot of the... Phoenix Unbound is paranormal-ish romance.
It's kind of historical, too,
to
right?
some degree. I mean, a little bit, yeah, but...
like, fantasy.
Yeah, fantasy. Yeah, it's more fantasy than paranormal. But it just moves really slow. And I really like Grace Draven, usually, but this one moves really slow.
Yeah, she writes more fantasy type stuff. Male-female fantasy.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think. Oh, I'm rereading the third Demigods of San Francisco.
Oh, I need to
because
start at the beginning.
There's been a fourth one, and I think there's been a fifth one, or there's a fifth one planned. I don't know if it's out yet. But yeah, I wanted to read the fourth one, but I needed to reread at least the third one.
I need to reread all of those.
I can remember, what's going on. So what about you? What have you been reading?
I started reading an adult series. It's the Cole McGinnis mystery series by Reese Ford. It's a male mystery series, and I started reading it because I always just pre-order Reese Ford's books. Mm-hmm. I really like them.
I like Reese Ford.
And I had never read this series. I think I'd started the first one, was free on Kindle Unlimited, and I was like, I don't know that I want to pay for the rest of them. And so I had just like randomly pre-ordered this new book that she had coming out, and it's actually the like sixth book in this series. So they were running a promo for the first like 5 books for like $15, so it worked out to like, I think less than that, like $12. So it was pretty inexpensive, so I picked them all up, and I'm enjoying them actually. The main character is half Japanese and his boyfriend is Korean, and so it gets into a lot of the Korean culture and how they treat LGBTQIA.
I feel like, was Reese Ford the one that wrote the Sinner's Gin series?
Yes.
Okay.
I reread that before this,
that character also had it had several different Korean or partially, or those with some Korean heritage in their history. So, and I actually learned quite a bit through that series. And there's a spin-off of that one as well that I cannot remember the name of.
415 Inc.
No, it's not that one. I mean, that one is by the same person, but this one is a different series that I can't remember. Anyway. Okay, so you're... Anything else besides that?
I started reading Stargazing, which is a middle grade graphic novel, but I haven't gotten a ton into it. I was going to read Maybe He Just Likes You, but I have a book fair coming next week, so I need to start reading some book fair books. So I started Stargazing at work, but I'm only like 50 pages in, so I don't feel like I can really do accurate review of it so far, because I'm not really super into the plot so far. But yeah, that's it for me. We have some Patreon events coming up.
Yes.
We have a fail along on Sunday at 3 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And what are we doing?
String arts.
String arts. And then that should be good for everyone.
Laura's going to make a panda corn.
Very excited. And I'm going to send it to Jessica. And then we have the VKN the following Sunday at 2 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's super exciting. I am wearing Kalara, I think that's how you say that, by Amber O'Brien. Mm-hmm. This was knit several years ago out of some Plucky. That's the solid purple. And then the variegated is Republic of Wool and Wrinkle in Time colorway, which she hasn't done for a long time. I need to email her and see if she'll do it again, because I really like it. And that's, like, my favorite book ever. So yeah, it's just like a shawl that's knit on the bias, and it's good for throwing on when it's cold outside, which it is cold outside right now.
Yeah.
I also had a hat on earlier. I had my strawberry shortcake out of Ponky, another Crafty Girls yarn, when I was at work today, like going in and out.
Yeah.
But yeah, what are you wearing, friend?
I'm wearing Coffee Break by Josie Paquin. It's in 2 colors of Wollmeise. I think the gray is 12 milligrams or 12. It's something about
12 AG or 12 MG or something like that. Yeah.
It's something with a scientific table. I don't remember. And then the blue is all inclusive. I think it's a reference to like a cruise, an all inclusive cruise, because of the blue. That's what I think. And it was knit by Gwen, not by me. But it fits me, so it's mine.
Yay!
I think that's really it. It's actually a really short episode this week. It's like 25 minutes. It's the shortest one we've done in a long time, but
I'm trying to think of what else we can talk about.
It's been very busy the past week or so, and then someone in my department is transferring to another department, so our on-call schedule rotation shrunk. So now I'm working up until the day that we leave for Scotland, which is annoying. But it is what it is, and I have a job, so I should be grateful.
Yeah, and you can sleep a lot on the planes.
Yeah, hopefully it will mean
we
that
should get you one of the eye cover things.
Already have them.
And you have your headphones, so you'll be fine.
I do need to get a new like travel pillow, because the one that I have I sleep with at night. Like, it's the perfect size for me to like hold on to, like cuddle into.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, I've used it so much, I've like broken the foam that holds the structure. So I actually have to get a new one of those before we leave.
I've never traveled with a travel pillow before.
Well, if you go on Amazon and look for them, there are a million kinds of them.
Yeah, there's a ton of different kinds.
There's some that look like those neck braces that you get if you are in like an accident or something, and then they like wrap around, and then one side's taller than the other, so you can use it to lean against. There's some that have like cooling fabric.
I feel like that would be a good plan for you.
Yeah, it is. But I don't know. I'm probably just going to go to Walmart or Target and try and like feel them, because it's all about how they feel to me.
Yeah, and if someone has one that they want to recommend, there's that too.
If somebody travels a lot and really uses the heck out of them and has a recommendation, I would love to hear it. I think that's it. I mean, we could just lather on, but I'm sure you got better things to do. So if you are a Patreon supporter, thank you. We appreciate it.
Yes.
And we will hopefully see you at either the Fail Along or the VKN, or both. Otherwise, feel free to message us or comment on the Ravelry board, or you can contact either one of us through email. It's Leslie or Laura at TheKnitGirlls.com.
Yep. And thank you guys so much for watching, everyone.
Yeah. Ooh, yes. And we're working on the possibility of doing some anniversary kits. We don't have the details hammered out yet, but we're
going to work on that tonight.
We're working on hammering out some details for a 10-year anniversary kit, because in April it will be 10 years that we've been doing this podcast.
And we're going to hit 500 right around that time, I would think.
Maybe a little after. But still, yeah. So we're looking at options for what to put in an anniversary kit. So if you have suggestions for things that you think would be cool, we're always happy to hear them.
Absolutely.
And otherwise, you guys have a great weekend, and we will talk to you again next week.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.